Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Walden. And in this part, I'm thinking it's time that we start kind of dealing with this area here around Blackwood. We've done so much work over here. We've got a redone Sylvester, a new Anchor Ward neighborhood. We've got Willowbrook. In between parts, I did add these apartment complexes. I locked them at level 4. That way they don't get the French roof, just because I don't like the French roof. It doesn't fit with this build. What I didn't realize is that this has 250 residents, this has 247, this has 230, and this has 244. 1,000 people live in this little block right here. But we've got a parking lot in the back for all of these guys. We've got a skate park. I also updated the bus lines. So now the bus lines come down here, and the final stop is right here in front of the 1,000-person little neighborhood. And this was helpful because these are considered low-income housing, and so this is supporting some of the people who maybe aren't fully educated or don't yet have, all of the financial means to maybe live in the heart of the downtown. And honestly, it's kind of nice. Like, you're right over here. You look over and you can see the downtown. You grab the bus. You take the bus right down this center road over here to the transfer station, switch over onto our tram, and you take the tram right into the heart of the downtown, and you're here in no time. Now, with that said, May TT07 recommended that we do two things to our current tram setup. The first thing was that we should go in here and we should reduce the ticket price on the tram. I'm honestly thinking the tram is going to be free. Just take the tram. We make enough money that I am not concerned about making the tram profitable. It's public transit. Public transit does not need to be profitable. It's a service. And that is my political platform, and I will stand on it. But the tram is now going to be free. We're going to reduce the price of that. But they also recommended that I go in. You know what? There was an update to the game. There was an update. While I was loading this, I didn't even realize there was an update, and that's what's changed things. But they recommended I also go in here, and I try to add some overpasses. Don't these go over the roads? Why am I feeling confused? Oh, here we go. All right. They recommended we add some overpasses. That way people can cross over the tram, but not have to worry about getting in the way of anything. If I was to do this overpass, I wish I could do it over top of a road like that. I mean, I guess I understand why that doesn't work, but we should have some overpasses so that people can get on either side. Now, I can't really do it here without messing anything up with the bridge. I know the bridge is maybe a little contentious. Some people hate it. Some people love it. I'm a huge fan of it, so I think we're keeping it. I'd love to just copy this whole overpass here. Can I get the same one? I can. Okay, great. So we've got this pass here. Let's close the happiness meter. You also would want to have more spots for people to cross. I mean, I could see another cross being over here around this bus network. If we were to place this here, right on this side is just some trees. So that's not really in the way. And then what I could do is turn off paths on crosswalks on both sides there. So you can use this to get over here along the tram track. Then down in this area, I think we could benefit from another overpass. I got to remember where it is now because I've totally switched everything. Now that I don't have my mod on, I have to do this a little differently. I think for this one, we'd have the steps facing toward... It's overlapping something. What are you overlapping? That building? Don't delete that building. Right there. It doesn't delete the building, but now it's aligned with this pedestrian path. And that also means we can get rid of really both of these. You're going to have to come all the way over here, turn on anarchy, get rid of both of these. You have to use the overpasses, except for this intersection. I know it's more car friendly and more transportation friendly versus being friendly to pedestrians, but I'm okay with that. So adding in a few of those overpasses just so that you can get over top of the tram lines. Are we doing okay? I mean, you have 22 people on you. You have 20. This one already has 20 people waiting. I am curious. What happens to this tram once it gets over here? Let's speed this up. You currently have 22 people on you. You're going to stop there and you're going to cross over here. And now you're going to have how many? 33. That's not bad. More and more people are taking it. Should we do more overpasses here? Like, part of me thinks that would actually look kind of nice. If we had another overpass right here, could I get away with one right here too? I mean, there's nothing on either side, so it's not like it's blocking any buildings or any windows. We could get rid of those overpasses and then just have even more ways for people to get back and forth. Or excuse me, to get rid of those crosswalks. It's so easy for me to get all of these things confused. It's ridiculous. I would want to maybe redo this block at some point. I think this parking lot made sense when the city was way smaller. It doesn't make sense now, but that's not what we're doing today. So we did a lot of work over here is what I was trying to get at earlier in the game. And now it's time for us to come over here and give some love to Blackwood. I think this has just been kind of neglected for so long. I am curious, what does our fertility look like in terms of the ground? Yeah, I almost want to have like move these farms over this way and have the farmlands like right here. I'm just not loving them there anymore, and I think that they need to go. I think what we will do is we will move this building, snap it to the road, move that building, and although this is a level 5 building, I think we're going to get rid of it. Get rid of the entire building. Yeah, and everything there. Great. I think I also might come in here and get rid of all of this industrial. So let's do this. Let's expand the size of this industrial sector to make sure we fill in all the buildings. How many jobs are here? 3,725 jobs. Pause. This is going to be a big project. It's basically going to take the whole day. But what we're going to do is we're going to leave the dairy house. I think I'm going to get rid of everything I've built over here. I am going to go ahead and also buy this tile. I know it's only water, which makes very little sense, but I think we need to make some adjustments to a few things here. And I just want to spend some time making this industrial area feel a little bit nicer. So I am going to go ahead and just pause the game. Part of that is because I'm going to delete both of our water pumps, and then the city will have absolutely no water. And I want to make a change to our ferry network. Let's grab the narrow boatway. And I'm going to, for now, just send this boatway straight on out here and over into here. Although you're saying you're overlapping with things. You're not. And then we're going to get rid of this stop just entirely. Just clear that out. I'm going to then remove this boatway here. Get rid of these connecting pieces. Get rid of all of that, and let's just rebuild this, which was accidentally deleted. I didn't actually mean to do that. That was my bad. If I go to here, connect this back in, then it fixes everything. Okay, great. So that's now working again. Oh, we have no water. Don't unpause. Don't unpause. My thinking is, because this used to be the main port of the city, we need to make it look more robust than it currently does. Like right now, it's okay, but it could be way stronger. If I was to grab, what is this? This is just a 2-lane road with a quay on the side. I would rather have like a road with actual quays already built in. If I was to bring this down this direction, can I snap to an angle? I feel like 135 is the angle we would want, but I'll take 145. We're going to send this down to here, and then I'm going to send this maybe straight to here, then switch over to a regular road and do the regular road from here with constant slope on at the 90 straight on down. This is going to kind of inform pretty heavily how this area is going to build up and work. But I think there's more that needs to be done here. First things first, get rid of these buildings. I don't necessarily want them there. There's no zoning there right now. That's okay. We're going to clear off the quay. I'm trying to like relearn all of these menus because I've used a mod for so long to do these menus for me that having to like remember where things are supposed to be is actually quite challenging. Reduce this down to 40. grab Fawn Street and just bring Fawn Street out from here. Move it all the way over and then reduce this down to 40 and just smooth all this out. But we'll smooth it out with like a much stronger brush. Okay, so we've got those roads. They're still in place from where they were before. We've lost some of the keys, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. What I want to do is I want to use the medium key, connect right here to the center, get a perfect snap in here, send this out maybe 150, and then send it over 100 meters and send it straight back down at the 90. Only connect to existing end angles. Bam. So now we would have like this little port thing here. I almost wanted to go further. Can we even go further? We could. So you know what? Back both of these up. Bring this out even further to maybe right here. Bring it over. Bring it straight down and in. So there'd be another port that would come out. We'd have to adjust the roads there. That's okay. I do also think... Ooh, a little bit of autosave there. This one could come out as well. And like just give us enough room for like to have a few boats in the middle. Kind of matching what we've done over here. And then here, I think right at this corner, we have one more that comes out. And connects up and in. And just expand what that looks like. I think that's really nice. Now, if I was to begin to edit this, how difficult is this going to be? If I want to remove the key on this wall, but then add it back to the external wall, just like so. So far, I don't have anarchy on, which is quite nice. Add it back to the external wall. We can go ahead and flatten everything out. Grab whatever height this road is at. Is that like the height of the road? Not really. Is that the height of the road? Right there. Yep. All right, this is the height I want. So then we're going to fill the interior here. Oh, I still have to fix that side. With some of the local dirt. We can pretend this came from the canal. When they built the canal, they took all that dirt and they used it to create these quay walls or these piers. All right, let me just knock all this out here. There we go. So now we've got 3 new piers peeking out here. Now, I want to think about how we can leverage these and make them interesting. So, oh, well, you know what? First things first, let's fix this guy. There's apparently an issue with that. So we're going to just delete this entirely. Can I just build a new guy right here, right on the corner, send it out straight, just like that, right along the water's edge? That's perfect. I think I do want to also like maybe reduce the size inside here so that the water coming up to these is pretty deep. We'll just pick a random line here on the ground and just match that for this whole section. But I think having the sand come up just looks a little bit strange to me. Perfect. So now we've got 3 new piers here. I almost want to have a 4th pier coming like right off here. Like what would it look like if right along the side of this building, I built a regular road? It would look like this. If I put that regular road right to there, I get rid of this section of this tram line. We're going to come back and place that in a moment. We switch over to the key walled version. Can't do that just yet, so we'll still do regular. Bring the regular to match where the other road is. Then switch to the key wall and send that straight on over, down and in. Yeah, I like that because then that kind of feels like it has some purpose. Now, that's a funky shape. It's very much not even. But I'm almost okay with it. You know what? No, I am going to be okay with it. We're going to love that. We're going to make ourselves be happy with it. This is what we have at home. So this is what we're eating tonight. I'm thinking here too, we could have another road come straight off of here, connect right at that angle, and then stick to the 90 there. Then we upgrade this into kind of like a little roundabout. but it's all one way. So you can go straight easily, or you can turn and go down this way, or you can come down this way. That stays 2 lanes. All right, I like that. I like that. This area, though, is not right yet. We got to bring all this up. All that up to there. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. Now, eventually, I'm going to do rock work, I think, all along this edge. I think that would just look so much nicer than what we currently have. But that's a lot of work and time, and it's just something I need to do off camera because that's so boring placing rocks. Like, I even find it boring, and I'm the one over here doing it. This area here I like, but I'm almost tempted to come in here, delete everything that we have placed, get rid of that road too. This road here has bike lanes on it. So I think, if anything, we should at a minimum continue the bike lanes straight on through to here. And maybe we kind of move this stuff here somewhere else. Because I could really see these buildings being placed like over here instead. Or better yet, these could be placed here along the pier. Ooh. It almost fits perfectly in that pier. That one's a little too big. That one's even larger. You know what? I am going to move both of these. And we're going to place them side by side here in the pier. We could extend the surface there. Yeah, I like that. Get rid of these roads that I have here. Get rid of this surface as well. We don't need that. So that moves those guys here. I think if I just give these... Do they already have a surface underneath? Because they very well might. What is this? Is it concrete? It is. All right, so this concrete is just going to come right on out here. Match up to this side. And although I want to put concrete here, I think this section right here just gets some trees all throughout it. We're going to do our bushes. Do them in our 2 different sizes. Turn off, snap to road, and snap on top of each other. And I'm just going to stick a bunch of these right here along with the smaller ones. And this is just going to give that overgrowth of this little section. Nobody's responsible for caring for this portion of the build. It's also kind of permanently in shadow. But there we've got some little overgrowth there. I need the piece that has the trucks on it. I think it's this one. If I grab this and move this over here. Are these the truck bays? They are. Already exists. Slap it down with anarchy. We'll put 2 truck bays next to each other. The rest of this section all is going to get asphalt. So now we've got like 2 truck bays as well as 2 of these like kind of truck depots, if you will. This employs 88. This employs 88. This employs nobody because no one's moved in yet. Once they move in, we might see some more people. We've got to basically recoup 3,500 jobs that we got rid of, which is entirely my fault. I almost want to also take some of these other buildings. Let's go over here to Cargo City. Oh, you know what? There was a better way to do this. We figured this out already. Joe's. Search Joe's. I don't need to like kind of find them throughout my map. I can just use it this way. Turn on anarchy for this. Let's see what our options are. These are all of our Joe's buildings. Does this fit on here at all? Because I'd love to place it kind of like down this way. It doesn't want to auto snap to this road. Does that have a key on it? It doesn't. I'd love to have this on one of these piers. I just don't know if it makes sense for it to fit. Like, I want it like that. Like, what if it went right there? Almost like somehow it connects to the ocean. I don't yet know how that would work. Could I get really cheeky with it, though? And could I take, like, a pedestrian path, a pedestrian street? I could do a street. And we lower the street down. Send this out like this and use Move It to slowly lower this section of the road down. I just want to, we're going to ignore that it has streetlights on it. I want to basically flood the bottom half of this and pretend that this is like some kind of ramp that you could use to get into this bay. It's like boat bay almost. And then if I use shift, I should be able to scoot these 2 over, line them right up. How far do I need to go to like really sink this enough that you don't see that end? Hold on, we're getting there. We're getting there. I just got to continue to slap this key. There you go. You can't really see it. Oh, that works perfectly. That works perfectly. I took a little time, placed a bunch of rocks there, stacked them on top of each other, and made it look like this is kind of being supported by the rocks. But then you can imagine the boats come in, they roll on up and in, and then they get into here. That's great. That's great. Now, let's expand these surfaces. I don't think there'd be any reason for you to have grass on here at this point of the pier. This would all be man-made. So all of this is going to be concrete. It all needs detailing. I need to put like little, ropes and boat paraphernalia around. We're going to get to that, just not yet. This, again, doesn't employ anyone yet because we haven't actually unpaused, which is probably a good thing. This guy's too big. This guy, just a little bit too big. I don't want to place another of the same building. Actually, no, this one has 2 doors on it, which I think could work pretty nicely. If we actually move this, rotate it so that it's facing this way. The doors are over here. Then we just expand this surface out around the back. Again, bam. Super easy. Done and dusted. Now we've got another building there. It does kind of cover up that hole, but you can imagine that like enters into this other smaller building here. Should I line these up though? Should I line them up? If I rotate it so that the entrance is facing here, turn off all these overlays so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Place it there. Now you've got that kind of connected. It's all one huge building there. That's great. So we have that piece. I like that a lot. Right here needs to be kind of like a factory. I don't think there's any unique factories that I could place here that would fit. Like this is too large. Although what is this? This is the fuel plant. Oh my gosh. Like, but you imagine the fuel's coming in, and because the fuel's coming in, this is where like it used to be unloaded. It's like the old fuel plant. Okay, hold on. We're going to try to make this work. If I send this up at the 90 to here, if I then clear off all the keys and only put them on the outer side, and then we flatten this area out, is this enough space for the fuel plant? I know it should technically be closer to the oil fields. However, we're going for historical. So if we imagine this was a big spot for oil before, we're so close. Oh my gosh, we're so freaking close. Okay. I'm going to use Move It for this. I don't know if this is going to help or hurt me. I'm going to expand this out with Move It to here. Flatten up to the edge. And then try to place this again. It does fit. Just like that, right on the corner. It's like this old building that's been there for ages. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay. Let's expand. Actually, no. That's going to get covered in greenery and trees. I think that's what it needs right there. Over on this part, I think we need like some other large building. I would want it to be brick. I think the brick buildings in this pack just look so good. I don't know why I wouldn't use more of them if I could. Do I have one that fits kind of here nicely? Not particularly. They're all a little bit too large. But I wonder if we just build our own, in a sense. If I place 2 of these next to each other like that, and then I take one of these larger ones, and I stick that like to one side, and then if I use Move It, I could even just shimmy this down to this edge. And honestly, I could shimmy this one down to this edge. They're all lined up. That looks pretty nice. Could I place some parking back here without anarchy? Without anarchy. You can do it without anarchy. That's how you know you're doing it right, if you can do it without anarchy. I need to get my water back in here before we can really do much of anything. I almost think the water could come off of here somehow. Although I guess it can't be placed... It can't be placed with road. So what if this street actually... Hold on. What if this street came up, you connect right to here, and this road comes up. This road goes back. Because then what we could do is I could grab this height and grab this height, and we could give them like a little bit of a slope here and then just smooth it out. I'm going to hit play real quick. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. I know none of you have water. It's coming. I promise. I promise. Because then we could grab the water pumping stations. We could even prepare to like upgrade the city a little bit and have 3 of them. If I was to delete this one and delete this one, put a key wall along this road. Actually, turn anarchy up, back off. Let's just see if we can do this road with the key wall already on it. Then we add the key wall back. Here, do the same thing. It looks like if you use the medium key with two-way road asset, even if it doesn't put the key wall on it for you, when you add a key wall, the key wall kind of matches the other key walls. Like, this is a different key wall. This doesn't have a railing, but it does have a little bit of a curb. Whereas when I place the other key walls myself, let's see if I can find an example. Like, the other key walls you can place have this railing on the edge, and they're set back. Interesting. You'd think by now we know how to play this game, but who am I? Can I fit 3 next to each other? Kind of. Kind of. We could fit 4, though, and have, like, way more water than we need. If we did that, and I lowered this down even further, can I just lower it all the way down to the road? No, we do get that, like, weird moment there. Okay. Let's then do this. Let's grab this height. Let's send this straight through here. I guess I should just give them all extra pumps, right? Like, let's really get crazy with this. You all have extra pumps. If I hit play, that should solve this problem. There we go. Everyone's got water. We're all happy. So now I guess we can leave it playing, which is actually helpful, because then I can kind of start getting a sense of how many jobs we have placed here. Like, if I was to expand this out and just for the moment do something like this. Like, how many jobs does Blackwood have now? 1,600? Okay, we're getting back to where we were. I think we take a pathway. Just bear with me as I do this. Because if I can anarchy this pathway, and we do it so that we've got a key wall on both sides. This is getting like way more nitty gritty than I normally do. But we're going to try it out. We can then raise this to the height of this unit here, right? And then I believe I should be able to remove it off of only one side. Because then I can flatten this. Let's go down to 10. This gets finicky because these are not very large assets. So you start to have things peeking through. We can already see it starting down here. So I wonder if I actually upgrade this into a pedestrian, like, large path. We're going to use this and fill all of this. There we go. So now it, like, actually feels like it's meant to be set up in this way. And we're now producing way more water than we're ever going to need. Like, we've got so much water. We're not even trading any. We probably should do that. You know what? considering we're trading none right now, turn on anarchy, go right here, and just send this out to the edge of the map. I'm just curious what we'd get from it. I'm just curious. Okay, turn off anarchy. We've got our water there. We've got our little like boat area. We're going to need some kind of marina or something. We've got 2 industrial piers. We've got some larger industrial warehouses here. It does make me want to reconsider having this over here. I almost think that this needs to move just like somewhere different entirely. Because I do have to, unfortunately, use some like base game options. I can't only use these. There's just not enough assets here to make this work. But if I anarchy this guy right here into this corner, I then anarchy this and turn off snap to road, rotate it around, get it to line up, and we stick this right here. That feels like it's its own building. I'm going to get rid of this. Okay. And now what we have is a lot of space that still needs stuff. I do want to move the compact refurbished tram depot. I think I want to move this down here. And the reason for that, it's overlapping. Oh, it's overlapping this building. Are you kidding me? All right. This building is going to go right here. I just don't care enough. Like I'm not fighting with you. This needs to go over here. The reason this needs to go over here. Oh, that doesn't actually have access to the other. What are you overlapping there? What's highlighted red? If I go right here. No track connection. I would strongly disagree with that. The track is right there. That could work. It could go right there. What is this? New shed tram? And that just gives me more trams? Honestly, let's just do it. Why not? I'm fine with that. I'm going to put a bunch of trees around there, clean that up. I want to... Oh my god, all my ferries are no longer active. Crap. There's so much I've messed up. Let me switch gears just quickly to the ferries because I've completely disconnected them, which was my bad. I should not have done that. There we go. Now the ferries are reconnected. Now we can go back to play. So I'm scooting this over to this block for a few reasons. One, I honestly think I hate the layout we have over here. We do have a bus route coming into here, and it's stopping right there. And I'm tempted to just get rid of that bus route entirely. If I remove that, then you kind of loop around this same section here, which is fine. We can get rid of this, and we can get rid of some of these incredibly funky roads that are just not working for me. There was a time where these made sense, but as our city keeps growing and evolving, it just isn't making sense anymore. I still want to keep that big parking lot. I like that a lot. I think the road we're going to pull from is right here. This road is not going to have anything on either side. We're going to do constant slope. Send it out to... Should I send it out right to here and just connect into this guy? It's a weird little corner bit, but I think we could definitely decorate that and make that an interesting block. This road doesn't feel like it has a lot of purpose, so we'll send it up as well. Gives us another square block to work with. Let's change the layout of Blackwood a bit. It's not going to include the cargo port anymore. That's going to be something different. It's going to stop right here. It'll come down this way, and it'll stop right at that intersection. These are going to be the Blackwood piers, and I'm going to get a little nitty-gritty with it and connect them up to the piers themselves, right? This comes down, connects into there. All right, this is the new Blackwood. I'm also going to move this road maintenance building. I feel like this could fit in one of these. Oh, you gotta be joking me. Okay, no, it does fit. It'll fit right there. That'll work. I'll take it. I'll take it. I thought for a second there was no way, and I was like, this is a joke. We're so close. So then we've got like these service buildings back here. We've got a large parking lot. Now we just need to add in more industrial, kind of back to what we had before. But before we do that, let's cut back over here to the trains. So I'm thinking we do a train track. I'm going to start from here. And I need to be able to get this elevated enough for it to go over this road. Right there works. Just like so. And this is just going to go straight on across. I don't have any reason to bring it down to the ground just yet. Let's do a complex curve. Snap right to the middle. And connect it over. But now we've got those elevated... Oh, yeah. Okay. Then, turn this into a bridged section. Grab our terraform tool. Increase the size and extend this out to, I don't know, about here. Then grab here to here. And smooth all that. Slope that. Smooth that. Yep. Grab all this. Bring this out. We'll smooth that as well. This section here probably needs to come out a little bit more. And then we can smooth it. Just disguise that this is all up on a hill. All of this. Smooth all of this out. Or flatten all that out, excuse me. And then we can smooth it out. There we go. That way you don't even realize this is elevated until you end up coming down the hill and you're like, oh yeah, that was elevated. Who knew? Now, with that, this little corner absolutely has to change. That little corner is atrocious. Let's just place a road here for the moment. Turn off our bike lanes. Turn on our curves. Go from here into here. Nothing's in the way. Don't act like this thing that you let me build just fine is now a problem. It was not a problem literally seconds ago. It's not going to be a problem now. And those can even stay flat on the ground. And then it crosses over. And now we've got this elevated rail there, which is great. Now, do we just do zoning? I know I'm probably not going to love the way it looks. I also wonder if we unlock the water treatment plant. How big is that? There's two of them. There's this one which can treat the sewage water. If I snap it to the road, it would fit in that block. Or there's the Japanese treatment plant. A little bit smaller, but it has like those open basins, which I do like. But if I turn this off, as if we need more water production in this city. Like, let's be real. We have so much at this point. I want that one right there. Yeah. If that goes there, that looks great. It's just making it feel like this area is not like totally gross. For a minute, it just felt like everything like looked terrible. And so I want to make sure it doesn't look that way. I wonder if I can... I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. I'm going to back all this up. Because what I want to do is I want to do this right here. These extra processing units. If I snap it to the road, it doesn't really work that well. I basically want this to snap right here. There's one. And there's two. All right, that looks pretty nice. I mean, I do wish this was maybe the same height, but I'm not going to fuss with it that much. We could even consider getting another connection in here. What if I was to just grab onto this? We've got slope on. If I came right up to here, or better yet, come down from here, go right here, and then curve down in it. Yeah. Just like that. Gives us another access road. That's pretty decent. Now, I do want to intersperse some more of these buildings here. So let's go ahead and grab some of those. Historic industrial. If I just type in historic, it works. Okay. I knew that. I just kind of forgot. Let's do all. Let's not do anything other than level 5s, but let's look at all of them. So there's going to be some that if we stick to the road, they might even be able to fit into some of these smaller spots. Like this right here can't really fit there, but we could have like a little guy right here on this corner. You know, that garage has been there for ages. It's not moving. They were like, you can try to get us to move, but we've been here for so long. Good luck. Maybe we sneak one of these guys like over here on the backside, just like this. Because like some of these smaller guys are very cute and they work really well. And maybe over here, we've got all these buildings here. I don't want to mess with any of those. What is this one? A little bit larger. This little area could actually benefit a lot, I think, from having some of these smaller guys. Let's just place a few there. Is there something that's a bit bigger? There we go. It's got smokestacks. I don't necessarily love smokestacks. I'm kind of realizing, like, I think they could have been done better and they just bother me now, but we'll survive. See, now they're starting to get a little bit too big. Because this could go here. Like, what does that look like? That actually looks pretty dope. I like that. Then if we do the smaller guys, there's this which does have smokestacks, but so does the other building. So it wouldn't be out of the question to have multiple buildings with smokestacks. And we just have like a little bit of a old-timey thing kind of facing out onto this lot. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Right along here, there are these buildings. Oh, these are the small ones. Wait a minute. I didn't know there were small ones. Let's place that small one right there. I didn't even know that existed. This has got some smokestacks, but like that could go right there. It's kind of emblematic of this newer building we have right here, which I like. Let's override this with two of those. Kind of intersperse those in because these assets are phenomenal. Those are great. We need one right here too. I wonder if... Does this road connect up and in? Because this is a pretty stressed intersection. So what if this road connected here at the 90 and then we upgraded this whole road so it was 2-lane going this way? It gives you dedicated access to turn in. And then you exit this way. And you can also, oh wow, it lines right up with that. So you just come straight on out and out. Oh, I like that. All right. Right in here, we've got a 4 spot. These are all just level 5 versions of buildings. I purposely only picked level 5s. Maybe we do those two kind of right there on that side. We've got this hill here, so I want to avoid that. I think we could have some kind of like management office or something behind it. Do something like that, where like there's this building on the back. Although it does look like if you zoom out too far, the window decals just disappear and becomes a shell, but that's okay. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of that. And then, wait a sec. That looks like a path could fit right through here. Okay, so now we've got some more connectivity there. Then what could go here? I feel like one of the big versions of this, like there's a few here with like the kilns. I'm not a huge fan, but I think it would make sense over in this spot. Right, so we got that building there. It's almost kind of similar to the skyscrapers. Like these are the big buildings, but then they're starting to get smaller as they fan out, which I think does look nice. Now, I did not realize how many small little buildings we had. If I scroll here to the bottom, all of these are tiny. So I almost feel like there should be a little road of these tiny little buildings. Yeah, and there's just like this old little road that now has bikes along it, but like it's this historic sector of industrial. Oh, I like that. I like that. I think it does need something around it. I'm hesitant to do an alleyway because that just feels aggressive. But at the same token, I think the alleyway could look nice. Especially if it was like a one-way. But we'll leave it a two-way, just like that. Because I might even be able to fit more stuff back here. Hold on. And we'll do one of those. just like interspersing that old-timey stuff. Then right along here, I think we do the same. I know it's all the same kind of style and look, but these are just, honestly, placing them by hand, I'm seeing each of them in a different light. I think when I just let it zone, it didn't work the way it was meant to, but now doing it this way, like this is working so well. And like just have that collection right there overlooking the water. Oh yeah. Now, how are we looking on jobs? 2,400. We're 1,000 jobs short of where we were when we started this. And I'm sure that's absolutely impacting it. Unemployment's at 4%. So at some point we do just have to like let the game do the game's thing. I'm thinking in here could be a good spot to do that. If I was to expand this road straight on out, right to here, turn off the zoning here and put all the zoning on this road. That way it's in the center. Have all that zoning there. I'm just going to let it do its normal drawn. Fill in the whole section there. Let that zone in. Then I think what we do is we place an alleyway along the backside. Just like so. And we also fill this with more zoning. That can stay open. So there's like 3 rungs of zoning there. All right, got some more modern buildings right there. All right, let me just fill out all of this with trees. I think that's going to go a long way to making this look like it makes a little bit more sense. Let's reduce this down to like 60 and reduce this down to 40. Let's just place a smattering of trees there, a smattering of trees there, a smattering of trees here. Do the same thing with the alders. We've done oaks and now alders. Get them in between if you can. And then we'll do all of these guys as well. It's quick and easy, but it'll do the job. And then I think right back here, I almost think all of this also just gets a ton of trees. But hold on, I have a thought. If we were to grab this road and we do it with the continuous curve tool, one needs to go straight for a second and then goes here. And then I can connect straight down and into there, right? That then gives me kind of a clearer spot to add additional zoning. And if I turn off this zoning, we can get a really, really nice section there. I could even do this. Put a key wall along this side so that when I do come in and I fill this with regular zoning and it flattens everything. Actually going to leave it just like that. That's fine. Let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. Grab this height, bring that along here, send it back here. Grab this height, bring that along here, and then just smooth out where they meet. And you would be none the wiser that they're on different planes. All right, so now we've got 3,787 jobs, which is not bad and is very similar to what we already had. So I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and get rid of these guys. We don't need those there. What I do need to figure out is what is that? And what is that? And what is that? Are there any other weird little things happening here? What I do need to figure out is, can I fit this aquarium, oceanarium in here? I think it's going to be just too big on both sides. Like barely a tile too big. But imagine that, just like overlooking all this. Okay. I think probably the best way to do this is going to be to scoot these guys in just a skosh. Like that. Flatten everything here. Then can we fit this just like along this road right here? Is that not enough? That's got to be enough. Bam. Oh my gosh, there's the aquarium. Yes. Okay. Aquarium absolutely needs its own parking. And I think the aquarium would have some like decent parking structures, right? I don't want this to be out in the open. So what we're going to do is we're going to take an alleyway, connect it right here. We're going to remove these crosswalks. The crosswalks are going to be really dedicated to this area here. Can I just fit this right in here? I can. I know it's big, Is it too big? Does it just like totally ruin the view? Because I do think it needs to have like a lot of parking. I'm also wondering if like, hold on, let's actually just refine this a little bit. If I just take a road from here and go right to here, for some reason I'm allowed to build that like no problem, which I can't seem to build keys, but I can build that no problem. Sure. Let's clear all this out. Let's get rid of these platter tiles that we have. We need parking. I just wonder if maybe it's just smaller. So maybe we do one of these. And maybe I turn off snap to road. We place it right here on the corner. Right? And then we put some kind of like little shop or something next to it. Like what if I clear everything? We grab shops. I grab a corner shop. All these are the EUs. We have the Japanese. And a commercial. Oh, you know what? These are waterfront. Is there a tiny little guy that can go right here? Just like that. You've got this little commercial waterfront building. And now it doesn't totally block the sight line to the aquarium. But now you've got an aquarium over here. I don't think I would allow any parking over here. In fact, I'm going to do large sidewalks around all of this so that you can't park over here. You can park everywhere else. That's fine. But you can't park over here. There's literally a parking lot for that reason. Can I also squeeze in some Sylvester palms along the water's edge? I don't know why that other key won't let me do it, but this one will, and we're just going to take our blessings as we receive them. There we go. Oh, yeah. Then I do think these, I keep moving these. These poor guys are just being schlepped around back and forth. But I think these need to go next to each other right there in the center. All right. And then I think, again, I know we're doing a lot of like just trees to cover things up, but I think it works. Like I really do. I think in some of these areas, all I would want to see is trees to cover things up. I wouldn't want to see everything else. So this is like hiding all of this from all the people. So that you're driving down, you're like, wow, look at all the beautiful trees. And it's like, actually, there's like a big fish thing right over there. But now we've got the deep blue oceanarium. We're going to get it. We'll figure it out. Now, all around, I think Blackwood, we're going to rename this Blackwood Piers. Blackwood Piers. I think this looks way better than what we had before. It feels a little bit more organic with all the open green space that was there. And almost like it's just slowly developed over time around this area, which is great. Now, one thing we don't have over here is like a marina of some kind. I know we've got these guys. We've got a sailing boat and a yacht. Are there any other boats? Because maybe we build a marina when we build out like our tourism island over there. But over here, can I just place down? Yes, I can. I just want to place down some boats as if like they're docked here. Yep. We've got a super tanker. A little bit of a tight spot there. Like over here would probably make a little bit more sense. And we'll put that one there like it's going in. And then maybe over here we've got like fishing boats. There's that one and this one. Neither of them are quite large, unfortunately. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to place a few fishing boats here. And then if I use move it, I can just drag them all up closer to the water there. So we've got a few boats there. We can pretend that they docked over that way. It's a bustling little area. What can you say? Do they have good internet connectivity? Not particularly. They could have better. What if I was to sneak this building in here to support this area? It has no upgrades. Speaking of, do you have any decent mail service? Not really. We'll put 2 over there. Those 2 are there. They're already covered. All that's pretty fine. Okay. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. We've got a few little boats. That makes it look a little bit more lively. I just don't know if a marina makes sense over there. If anything, like, I think I would want the marina to be right here in front of this area, because that could look really nice. But I'm not going to do that right now. That's too much. We've done a lot already this episode. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.